Now, baby, come on in here. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a little sweet tea, and let Hattie Mae tell you something. Pride will keep you broke. Now, I ain't just talking about your bank account. I'm talking about being so determined to prove you can do everything by yourself that you nearly work yourself into the ground. Baby, I know because I lived it. I was in my 20s, raising two little ones, working as a nursing assistant, and trying my best to convince the whole world that I had everything under control. Honey, I didn't have anything under control. I was working 16-hour shifts. My back stayed sore from lifting patients. My feet ached every single day from turning people in the bed, helping them shower, changing linens, and running from one room to the next. By the time I got home, I was so tired I could barely take my shoes off. Shoot! I worked so much that my babies spent more time sleeping at my mama and daddy's house than they did in their own beds. And after working all those hours, you would have thought I had money to show for it. Baby, my lights were 2 days from being cut off. The refrigerator had more baking soda than groceries. I had exactly $9 in my purse and 4 days until payday. But you know what I refused to do? Ask for help. Oh no, I was too proud. I kept telling everybody, I'm fine. Baby, I wasn't fine. I was surviving on peanut butter sandwiches while smiling like I had steak waiting at home. I was exhausted, broke, overworked, and too prideful to admit I needed help. I thought working harder was the answer. One morning, after I'd finally gotten a day off, my mama called and said, Hattie Mae, bring those babies on over here this morning. Your daddy's putting some meat on the grill. Now, if you know anything about Southern parents, you already know that wasn't just an invitation to eat. That was a meeting. When I got there, Daddy was outside, tending that grill like it was his full-time ministry. The smell of charcoal and barbecue filled the backyard, and those babies were running around, laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. Mama called me into the kitchen. Come on in here and help me make these side dishes, she said. So there we stood, chopping vegetables, stirring potato salad, and mixing cornbread while she watched me out of the corner of her eye. Finally, she laid that spoon down, looked me square in the face, and said, Baby, you're living like you're going out of this world backwards. I didn't say a word. She continued, Your daddy and I already had a long talk about this. We've been watching you wear yourself slap out trying to do everything on your own. Then she reached over, took my hand, and said something I'll never forget. Why don't you come on back home with those babies? Stop all of this working yourself half to death. Enroll in school. Take you some night classes. Better yourself. Then take your time and figure out where you want to go from there in life. Baby, I wanted to cry. Not because I was ashamed, because I realized I'd been fighting so hard to prove I could make it by myself that I was turning down the very people God had already placed in my life to help me. That day changed everything. I learned that accepting help isn't failure. Sometimes it's the first step toward the life you've been praying for. See, pride will have you carrying a load that was never meant for your shoulders alone. Sometimes God answers your prayers through the people who love you enough to tell you the truth. And sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever say is, Mama, I could use a little help. Well, baby, that's enough porch talk for today. Until next time, take care of yourself, trust God, and remember, pride may make you look strong for a little while, but humility is what makes you stronger for a lifetime.